Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And blessings to the hopeful elect out there listening and learning and teaching this word in sincerity and truth. In a sincere hope so we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. To the sincere believers, man, the fighters of the faith, you know, may you endure and continue to the end. As the scriptures say, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. So that's the goal, man. That's the aim, you know. And the elect are going to be saved. Somebody's got to be the elect. It's a small number, right? Remember, the Matthew 7:13 speaks about the broad way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, but narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and only few be there that find it. So, Lord willing, we be, you know, in that narrow way, that narrow path that leadeth unto life, man. Lord willing, we be of the few that make it. All right. So, you know, just had some news come to my attention as I was scrolling on my way to work this morning. You know, through social media platforms and basically doing a bit of research on what's going on over there, latest in the so-called Middle East, because now you got it to where, you know, the Trump administration has now decided that they're going to establish a military base over there in the Gaza Strip in order to, again, auto FKO, to quell or to keep, you know, the ceasefire, all right, with Hamas, all right, if you know what I'm talking about, and the Israeli troops over there, right, in the so-called Middle East. And this is going to involve international troops. This is going to involve boots on the ground, a military base being created that's going to cost millions and millions you got to say it like Trump, millions and millions, you know, to be sent over there. And you know, these troops, they will be getting slaughtered over there if they allow them to go over there because it's nothing for them to be able to stage these attacks, you know, for these troops, these international troops. And that's going to send a shock wave worldwide. See, look, they're killing our troops now, right? And it's going to garner more support against Hamas, all right? You know, Hamas, you know? It's going to garner against, you know, more hate, you know, and increase the numbers and increase the divide. Because you got these protesters, you know, pro-Palestinian protesters that keep protesting about pro-Palestine and this and that and whatever. But then you got people saying that, you know, the small hats are creating genocide and da-da-da-da. And there's a divide. There's a big divide. All right, and we know that the scriptures say that the least of the flock shall draw them out. See, you got the small hats, you know, and you know, America, they're getting involved. They're having to get involved. They're having to get involved, man. All right, and this is gonna cause more contention worldwide, right? Come on, man. American troops getting involved, because look, how come they don't just leave it to the Israeli troops? But no, now you gotta get America involved. We've been telling you that this is coming, man. The least of the flock shall draw them out. This is gonna lead to World War III over there in the so-called Middle East. There is gonna be a World War III that's gonna be fought. Okay, and America is gonna do something to really piss off their allies, man. All right, you're the reason. Who knows how it's gonna play out? But we know that the allies of America, even the allies of America, will shoot missiles on America. The allies that contain nuclear missiles will be shooting missiles on Babylon the Great. Right? The scriptures speak about that in Revelation, the 17th chapter. About these 10 horns, they shall hate the whore that rideth upon the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. Remember that? The whore is America. The whore is not, America is not the beast. America is the whore that rides upon the beast, controlling the reins of the beast. Right? And soon the beast is going to get angry and will buck this whore off the back of the beast. Right? Remember, the scriptures speak about the war that's going to be by way of fire. Isaiah 9:5. Every battle of the warrior is with garments rolled in blood. Right? With noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Loosely paraphrasing. In fact, let me get that scripture. Every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's what the scriptures say. Right? The burning and the fuel of fire is going to come by way of thermonuclear destruction. Alright? That's why Peter was a prophet, and he prophesied in 2 Peter 3 and 10, right? And he prophesied that the elements melting with fervent heat. He saw it, man. He saw what's coming. Many prophets saw and actually told us what's coming in these last days, man. Okay, let me get 2 Peter 3. Let me get 2 Peter chapter 3. Excuse me, because I'm driving. So 2 Peter chapter 3 from verse 10, it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And that fervent heat is by way of thermonuclear destruction. Alright, hey, that's beautiful. Look at that 555 and that number plate right there. Look at that, man. Barakatah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And 5 represents what? The angels, protection. Hey, Lord willing, we be protected. Alright? Lord willing, we be protected in these last days, man. And the angels, speaking about the angels, the scriptures speak about in Revelation 7, you got the angels holding back the winds of destruction. But the Lord is going to give them charge to release that. Right? When the nukes fly and that shockwave, that besom of destruction hits, the cleaning agent that does its job by way of thermonuclear destruction, the fire is a cleansing cleansing agent. And fire is going to be used to cleanse this earth, man. Alright? And mainly Babylon the Great is going to be targeted. Right? But you're going to have other places that's going to get hit. Especially Israel. Okay? But Babylon the Great, which is America, is the focal point of the destruction. The second death. Right? This is what the Apostle Peter is speaking about. The elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. All of this shit, all of the corruption, all the fucking celebrities, man, right? These false idols and these mosques, these temples, these churches, right? These obelisks, right? These statues that go back to pagan worship, they're all gonna be burnt up. All right, everything that you see in that land in Babylon the Great is going to be melted, man. It's going to be turned. It's going to be a fucking desert, just like they show you in Planet of the Apes, man. And you had the Statue of Liberty buried up to her neck, right, in sand, right? They showed you that America got turned into a desert, man. That's what that burning up is going to be. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? That's how we're supposed to be conducting ourselves, man. We got to keep our eyes open, our spiritual eyes open, man. And you have to have the spiritual eyes to see what's coming, man. The scripture says where there is no vision, the people perish. If your spiritual eyes closed, you can't see shit. You can't see what we're telling you, man. You can't see the end of America because you want America, or really, the Lord has put it in your mind to want America to continue because you're wicked. And you want this kingdom of wickedness and oppression, right, to keep afloat, but it's not going to keep afloat. The prophets told you, right, what's coming down in these last days, what's coming for America. America is doomed, right? The scriptures speak about the day of doom shall be the end of this time. It says, verse 12, looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? Fervent fucking heat, man. That's what's coming for this place, man. America's fucked. It's done. It's doomed. It's over. Alright? So now you see them getting dragged over there in that beef over there in the so-called Middle East. This is exactly what we needed to happen, man. Because the least of the flock shall draw them out. Them small hats, right? You always got America licking the arse of the small hats, man. Running to their aid all the time. Now they're being dragged over there, right? Now you're gonna have international troops being dragged over there. Like I said, this is gonna make, certain places in the world that have their troops involved in this, it's going to make them pissed off. You know? And it's going to create more and more of a divide. And what did the Lord say about division? Right? Think not that I am come to bring peace on the earth. I tell you, nay, rather division. So the Lord is creating division. Right? He's creating a divide. And the scripture says, you know, a kingdom divided shall not be able to stand. And ultimately, like I said, it's going to lead to them, you know, the missiles being launched in America. The scripture says in Isaiah 54:16, I believe, right? I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. The smith, right? The ancient blacksmith, a job of a blacksmith was to create weapons, right? Killing instruments, right? The modern day blacksmith are these technicians, or, you know, these people with these lab coats running around creating nuclear missiles, man. Right? I have created the smith that blow off the coals in the fire. Right? And I've created the waster to destroy. Loosely paraphrasing. Right? So the Lord has created these nuclear missiles ultimately to be launched on Babylon the Great. Right? And the scriptures speak about the curse. Right? The sword is about to come down upon Idumea and upon my people of my curse to judgment. Read Isaiah the 34th chapter. It goes into that. And who are the modern day Idumeans? These Edomites, man. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. So these Edomites, what does the scripture say? That Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So these Edomites have to be in rulership in these last days. And guess what? Who's going to be ruling after Edom? Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And this is what they don't want. And that's why they're going to grab a lot of you Jakes up and they're going to be putting you in, you know, this is going to be taking you out, man. They're coming for you, Jake. They've been coming for Jake, man. They don't want this message coming out that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. They don't want us to rise. That's why they've been, you know, keeping us oppressed, man. They know who we are. These nations, the tops of these nations, they know who we are. The scriptures tell you that in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. All thine enemies, they make a tumult, man. Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by thee, they hiss. Right? Is this the you know, the joy, the daughter of Jerusalem, the joy of the whole earth, the beauty of Jerusalem? Let me get that. Lamentations 2:15. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 15. Oh, let's get this scripture. Oh man, let me get it in a KJ Vizzle. I'm gonna get it in a KJ Vizzle, right? Lamentations 2:15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Right? So they're mocking us, man. Hey, the scripture says, who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? These nations ain't trying to help. They ain't trying to help Jake, man. When's the last time you see police brutality happening to a Moabite, man, and being televised, or a straight up Ishmaelite or Elamite? That don't really happen. Okay, but it happens to you Jakes, man. George Floyding up the place and that and whatever. You know, come on, man. I can't breathe. It's always you, Jake, that are getting fucked up. Why is that? And it's being televised. Why is that, man? Because Esau is showing you the perpetual hatred that he has for you, man. Okay, and here it is. We're telling you, Jake, man, that you are in the crosshairs of these Edomites. See, the spirit's kind of switching up, but that's all right. It says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. Not for thee. Right? They hiss and gnashed the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. So they have conspired, man. They have found it. They've looked for this, man. And that's why Yahushua is coming to save us from our enemies, man. So don't let these people like vocab tell you supersessionalism, replacement thing. Come on, man. Right? Replacement theology and that. And all of a sudden, the Lord is dealing with everybody. No. The scriptures call us a special people. And that we're above all people on the face of the earth. We ain't like these heathen, man. The fuck are you talking about, bro? We're cut from a different cloth altogether. We're a chosen nation. A peculiar people, man. A special people unto the Lord. So don't be getting this fucking twisted, bro. Alright? And this is why Yahushua is coming to save us from our enemies and from the hand of them that hate us, bro. Okay, so all of this troops being dragged into the so-called Middle East and that and whatever, we say, hey, bring it on, man. We say, look, bring the downfall of America, right, through what they're doing and that and whatever, okay, through the small hats, right, drawing them out and that and whatever. Bring the divide among these nations, man, and their troops and so on and so forth. Bring it, right? That's what we say. Bring it. Bring it. Bring the divide in these cities. Bring the political divide with all of these people. Bring it, man. All right, because the Lord is creating this divide, and it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong, as they say, you know? It's happening, man. We're at the end of this. And this divide is going to bring the downfall of Babylon. You watch. Watch and see, man. You watch and see. All right? So with that, man, look. I pray this is an edifying lesson. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around here because I pray this was an edifying lesson. Oh, man. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Right? I pray this is an edifying lesson. And as always, when I say Ka halali imla Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai Basham Rakak Dash. And shalom to the elect, man. Shalom, shalom.